Mansa Musa. He came from the Mali Empire, and he was crowned king in 1312 and given the name Mansa, meaning king. I chose this picture because it is a map of Mali from the 14th century. On the map, you can see the trade routes in Mali, which are represented by these lines, and you can see Mansa Musa himself sitting on his throne, holding a gold nugget. Originally, Musa was deputy for the king. When the king left on journeys, he was in charge. When the king dies, this deputy is left heir to the throne. So when his predecessor died, he became the king. I chose this picture because it shows Musa as the king in his crown and royal attire. Mansa Musa gained power pretty much when he was appointed as deputy, because this meant ultimately he was going to be heir to the throne when his predecessor died. His predecessor was Abu Bakr II, and I chose this picture because it's a picture of him from the map on slide 1. There's not much known about Mansa Musa's family history. This is largely because his family was not significant in the Mali Empire. This lack of significance is caused by the fact that Musa gained power by being appointed and not from lineage, so that means his dad wasn't the king beforehand, so his dad was just a commoner. I chose this picture because it represents the mystery behind his family history. Mansa Musa's religion. He was a devout Muslim. He showed this through living out the 5 pillars of Islam, 2 of which are completion of the Hajj, which is a pilgrimage to Mecca, and paying alms, which he did by giving gold to people he met on his way to Mecca. Mansa Musa also spread Islam to people throughout the Mali Empire, which is modern-day West Africa. He also built many mosques in Africa, and this is a picture of one of the mosques in Africa. He's best known for a few things. First, he was a very famous king of Mali Empire. He's also the richest man ever to live, having around $400 billion in today's money, US dollars. Mansa Musa is also known for the spread of Islam throughout West Africa and a pilgrimage to Mecca. Mansa Musa also built many mosques. Some examples are the mosques built in Timbuktu, which is modern-day Mali. Many of the mosques built by him are still intact today.
Mansa Musa, where he went. Mansa Musa was the king of the Mali Empire, so he mainly stayed in West Africa throughout his lifetime. One key journey he took, though, was his pilgrimage to Mecca. On his way to Mecca, Mansa Musa passed through large areas of North Africa. One key stop Mansa Musa made was when he arrived in Cairo, Egypt, which is elaborated upon later in this presentation. Here's a picture of Mansa Musa being carried by just Mali people. Mansa Musa's journey to Mecca. Mansa Musa's most famous journey was his journey to Mecca. Mansa Musa made this journey to complete the Hajj, which is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. All Muslims are required to make this journey at least one time in their life. By going to Mecca, Mansa Musa completed a pilgrimage and paid respect to Mecca, which is a sacred site of Islam. And here's a picture of what Mecca looks like today. Mansa Musa stopped in Cairo. When Mansa Musa made a trip to Mecca, he stopped along the way in Cairo. He brought a caravan of over 60,000 men and 80 camels, who were each carrying gold, and it all totaled around like 300 pounds of gold. His generosity won over the people of Cairo, and he was very good to them. He made many generous donations to the poor and helped many organizations. Some historians say that even 12 years after Mansa Musa left Cairo, people were still singing him praises, and the economy had not recovered, well, the gold prices had not recovered from the gold that he had left there. How Mansa Musa affected the cities. Mansa Musa helped all the cities he conquered. He set up a building project in most, like the ones that started construction of many mosques and madrasas in Mali. He also helps to create many universities and places for people to study and helped cities with their defenses by building better surrounding walls. He did, however, hurt the economy of cities, especially in Cairo. He is so generous to the people and flooded the market with so much gold that the price of gold didn't recover from the inflation for like 12 years. And here is a picture of a mosque built at the time of Mansa Musa. How Mansa Musa became rich. Mansa Musa is known as the wealthiest man ever. With inflation, his wealth today would equal about $400 billion. Most believe his wealth came from his home country, Mali. Mali produced nearly half of the world's gold at the time and about half of the global salt as well. These were highly sought after goods and were traded with almost anyone. They were rare at the time, so they could be traded for a significant amount. And here is Mansa Musa. Here's a gold coin with Mansa Musa on it. And here is Mansa Musa and with some horses behind him. Where Mansa Musa's wealth went. After his death in 1331, Mansa Musa's relatives and heirs could not decide how to split the money and were unable to keep the fortune. The money was also taken quickly by civil wars and invading armies. In only 2 generations, all of his net worth was gone. Many argue he was the richest man to ever live. And here's a picture of Mansa Musa holding some gold. And yeah, he gave away his money to people, which is another place where his wealth went.